What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let me start out by saying I hope that Florida is not as bad as what they've said it is. I hope there's not as many people who have lost their lives as they think may have been there. I hope that it's not weeks before some of the people get power back on. I have seen devastation firsthand of what a hurricane can do months and years after the fact, from going to Puerto Rico 2 years later, where there's still homes that were just completely destroyed and grown back over and blue tarps over the place. I've seen it in Florida. I've seen it in New Orleans. It's devastating that, and I can imagine the size of the storm and the storm surge and the low lands in Florida and the sandy soil, that it's probably bad. It's going to look like a war zone. And it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of us all coming together. And I am so sick and tired. I am so sick and tired of hate. I honestly am. That so many people, they only live to be decisive and to try and stir shit up. You know what? There's been so many musical artists, just for example. Coolio last night, 59. Galvin Escobar, not a rapper, but Galvin Escobar, 31 years old, rock climbing, dead. But I think about Shock G. I think about rapper Jalil from Houdini. I think about Digital Underground. Did I say Shock G already? I think about Biz Markie from the Fat Boys. I think about DMX. See, all of those people are my exact age. I turn 57 next month. Coolio's 59. I think about my nephew who's in his 30s, who just died a few weeks ago. I think about my brother who was 62 when he just passed away 2 years ago. I think and see all these people my age that are going and passing. And I don't want to waste my time. But yet there's people out there that just want to live to waste your time, to try and create hate and stuff. You know, that's not my thing. My thing is actually trying to do some good, trying to be a positive role model, to try and teach you the things that I know and pass them on. And hopefully leave a positive mark that when I am gone, that people will remember who I am, that people have a shot glass or a rack or a Joe Barty and say, hey, you know, I remember Mark Holmes. He was a cool dude. That's what I'm here trying to do. And so I'm not going to waste my time with all the negative bullshit, okay? Because the negative bullshit will bring you down to their level, and I'm not going to go to their level. I'm going to fight, but I'm not going to go to their level. So right now, Eagle fans are going crazy because they're the only undefeated team in the NFL. Congratulations. The Miami Dolphins, I remember on Sunday watching the Miami Dolphins and Tua get knocked on his back, and I remember him stumbling and falling over. We know about the concussion protocol, you know, for players. We know about the concussion lawsuit that, you know, where the NFL really didn't want to pay those things, where they literally came up with a different grading scale to basically say, well, if you're a black, your cognitive abilities were lower than everybody else's, so you were already stupid to begin with, so we're saying that you don't have any problems, we're not going to help you. We've heard about guys like Wes Walker who they've literally said, your injuries, can you prove that they happen on the football field? No, actually, I ripped my ACL cutting the grass in my backyard. That's actually what happened. I played in the NFL for 12 years, and of course, I never got hurt there. It was me literally slicing a bagel was the reason why I have neck trauma. That's it. So supposedly, I thought that there's supposed to be an independent neurologist who watches the players on the field. We've got the blue tent out there and stuff where we can check players out. And when I saw Tua go down, I was like, man, that looked like a concussion to me. And you see him go off the field after stumbling. And lo and behold, here it was, he was back out on the field. And I was like, he passed concussion protocol? And the Vikings said, the Dolphins said, oh, no. It wasn't a brain injury. It was his back. He had a back spasm. Now, I have back spasms all the time. And I'm going to tell you what. When I get a back spasm, my back locks up. And it's like, don't move, because if you move, it feels like there's a knife going into your back. You don't have a back spasm, go down and pop right back up and run off the field. Or at least not mine. Maybe I guess he had a different back spasm. And to see his head bounce up off the turf, you got to look and say, that looked like a concussion. And here it is, lo and behold, 5 days later, he's back on the field. I was like, he's playing? Now, the good news is, after seeing him on the field, and when you saw him, that was one of those hits that you saw him, he was swung around, he landed on his butt, his back, and then his head whipped on the ground. To see his fingers just kind of lock up the way they did, you were like, the hell was that? But I pointed out that Calais Campbell some years ago, Calais Campbell was on the field motionless. They carried him out on a stretcher and a backboard, and having worked with Calais and seeing Calais and knowing Calais and the way Calais is always, where's Joe Boo? It was personal to me. And for him being carried off that stretcher, I thought it was catastrophic. Turns out it wasn't. Basically like a stinger, and he played the next week. But to see Tua's head bounce off the field the way it did on Sunday, and then to see that hit right now, my God, I hope he is not on the field anytime soon. If he is okay, that there's nothing, then the football gods, somebody's looking out for him, because there was nothing that was just one of those ones that you worried and said, is he going to walk again? And this is where we as fans out here, love football. We love the brutality of it. We love the big hits and things like that. But what we don't realize or understand, that these are people too. These are a cross-section of society. And so as we have some people, you take 1,000 people, you have some people that might use drugs, some people that are alcoholics, some people that are super smart, some people are just idiots, some people who might do domestic violence, some people who are just straight up thugs. The NFL is no different. They're a cross-section of society. They're people with different issues too. But we forget that when we look at them. We go through and we say, oh, he's a big P because he's not on the field. Well, for those out there, when you say Dak Prescott sucks or Carson Wentz sucks, let me see your ass out on the football field. Because unless you can do better than somebody else, you don't have the right to say how much somebody sucks. I'll be honest with you. I'm just kind of saying that. For you guys to say, oh man, this guy, he's a whip, or he's injury prone. Let's see you carry your ass out there and do what they do. Because after going through a game, especially like for Miami and Cincinnati, who just played on Sunday, tomorrow will be difficult for them just to get out of bed. They'll have to take all kinds of painkillers and be in ice whirlpools first thing in the morning. to just try and get their body right so they can start walking around and hopefully in a couple of days be able to actually practice. See, the players have Tuesday off. You know why? To give them some more time to recover from the train crash that they went through on Sunday. It's a tough business. Now, I've gone on about Tua and about people wasting my time and stuff. Let's move on to the Cowboys here. It's funny because I was looking at Philly stream tonight a little bit, and apparently Eagle fans are tired of hearing that they haven't beaten anybody. Really? I keep hearing Eagle fans saying, well, look, you play the people on your schedule. It's not our fault that the teams we're playing aren't any good. Really? Is that right? You know, it's funny because I remember you guys saying all last year, well, the Cowboys ain't beating nobody. Cowboys ain't beating playoff teams, even though you guys were actually a playoff team and we beat you twice. Oh, I forgot. You guys say that the first game didn't count because it was early in the season and that the last game you were resting people. I got it. But you guys don't look at it and say, well, you know, we barely beat Washington COVIDs, who went ahead and picked up a quarterback from the New England Patriots the week of the game and had 21 people out for COVID. I don't hear you guys saying, you know what, we really didn't play an NFL team that week. I don't remember hearing you guys say that. But it's funny because we beat the Giants the other night, and y'all go ahead and say, you didn't beat nobody. Oh, it's just the Giants. You mean the Giants that beat you last year that didn't win 5 games? Those Giants? Oh, okay. So, now, Cincinnati, a team that was in the Super Bowl last year, ended up beating Miami, who was undefeated, who actually went to LA and beat the Chargers in their stadium. Do I have that right? A team that has Tyreek Hill and Cedric Wilson and all these guys that they brought in as free agents, and people looked at them as a top 5 team. So those guys beat Cincinnati, a team that we beat. And mind you, when I watched that game, looking at Miami's pass rush and looking at Cincinnati's pass rush, I didn't see anything like what I saw from the Cowboys. The Cincinnati Bengals offensive line actually looked pretty good tonight. Not like they did against the Cowboys. So that tells me that maybe the Cowboys' defensive line is on a different level than what most teams are. So, Eagles, I'm sorry that you feel some kind of way that people are saying that you haven't beaten anybody. The world's smallest violin playing for you guys right now. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Because you haven't really beaten anybody. You haven't. And I'm not saying that we have either. But I'll take the win over Cincinnati over yours over Minnesota with Kirk Cousins in prime time. A guy who's like 1-12 in prime time. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway. Phew. This is the calm before the storm. Starting tomorrow afternoon, they say we're going to start getting some of the rain from Irene. And then it's going to rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday into Tuesday. So I guess it's just going to park its happy ass right over top of us. And whether it's rain, sleet, or snow, we still got the game. And I've got 20 hours, I guess I'll be out in the rain smoking some pork. But, you know, when you love football like I do, you'll do anything. Hope you guys had a great Thirsty Thursday. And I appreciate y'all. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. But remember, if a 31-year-old Galvin Escobar passing away rock climbing today, if a 59-year-old Coolio passing away last night didn't teach you, let me remind you that tomorrow is not promised for any of us. and to make sure you tell the people you love them. And I love you guys. God willing, I'll see you in the morning.